One ordinary afternoon, a young man named Jason gets a package delivered to his house from his best friend. As he holds it, worry creeps across his face. He takes it to his room, grabs a cutter, and carefully opens the box. Inside sits a packet of drugs. Curious, he picks it up and notices a small blinking transmitter device hidden there. Moments later, the agents storm the house. Panicking, Jason hears them coming and bolts out the window. He jumps over a wall trying to escape, but the agents spot him. He runs hard, heart pounding, but they cut him off with a car. He's caught. This whole nightmare was inspired by true events. Meanwhile, his mom Sylvie arrived home with groceries, and his dad John, owner of a successful construction company, was wrapping up deals at work. John even stopped to help one of his employees, Daniel, who was still working late. Later that day, John is at his daughter's birthday barbecue when his ex-wife Sylvie calls in total shock. He rushes to meet her. At the station, they wait anxiously. A police officer won't let them see Jason right away. John's lawyer shows up and breaks the bad news. Jason's case is serious. His so-called friend Craig had already been busted and agreed to cooperate with the government by sending the package to Jason. This was a setup to catch bigger fish in the drug world. Jason now faces a mandatory minimum of 10 years in prison because of the amount of drugs involved. The next day, John and Sylvie visit Jason in prison. They press him to name anyone he knows who sells drugs, thinking it might help lower his sentence. But Jason swears he's innocent. He doesn't know any dealers except Craig, and he refuses to set up innocent people just to save himself. John gets furious at his son's stubbornness, but Jason won't budge. That same day, John calls in a favor and meets with tough U.S. Attorney Joanne Kagan. He explains his son made a stupid mistake and is innocent. She doesn't budge an inch and says the only way to help is if someone cooperates by making arrests. John even volunteers himself, but she turns him down flat. John heads straight back to the prison. He comforts his broken son, hugs him tight, and promises he'll find a way to get him out. It's a rare, powerful father-son moment. John leaves determined. He wastes no time. He starts researching drug cartels and decides to dive into the dangerous world himself. He goes to a rough neighborhood and approaches a street dealer asking for coke. When the guy says he doesn't have any, John acts ready to walk away. The dealer suddenly changes his mind and tries to snatch the money. John fights back, but the guy isn't alone. A group of gangsters jumps him and beats him badly. Luckily, a passing police officer steps in and saves him. The next morning, Joanne hears about John's reckless move and gets angry. She finally gives in and tells him what he needs to do: help set up an arrest of someone holding at least half a kilo of cocaine. John gets an idea. He digs through his company employee records and finds Daniel, the same guy he helped at work, who has 2 prior convictions for selling narcotics. One rainy day after work, John sees Daniel waiting for the bus and offers him a ride. They grab food at a restaurant. John gets straight to the point and asks for Daniel's help making an introduction. Daniel has left that life behind and refuses at first. John offers $5,000, then UPS it, even offering $40,000. Daniel still says no. When John gets home, he finds his younger daughter with some shady guys and chases them off. His current wife Annalisa is heading to work. He begs her to stay, but they need the money, so she goes. The next morning, Daniel is waiting outside John's house. He's changed his mind. They head to meet a local drug lord named Malik. Malik immediately pulls a gun on John, testing him. John stays calm, hands up, and pitches a business idea, using his legitimate construction company trucks to transport Malik's goods. Malik is impressed by John's confidence and the plan. He agrees, but sets 2 conditions: commission no more than 10%, and John has to drive the first load himself. Daniel demands his $20,000. John gives him half up front, worried he might disappear. Daniel accepts. John rushes to show Joanne the secret recordings of the conversation. She promises that if they arrest Malik, Jason's sentence will drop to just 1 year. John and Daniel tell their wives they'll be away for a couple of days on a big job. With DEA agent Cooper's team watching and recording everything, John and Daniel hit the road in a truck loaded for the deal. They drive to El Paso, where they're stopped by armed men working for a bigger player called El Topo. Daniel talks them through it smoothly. They load up, but suddenly a rival cartel ambushes the place with gunfire. Chaos erupts. John and Daniel jump in the truck and speed away through the firefight, crashing through obstacles as bullets fly. El Topo calls Malik afterward, saying he likes the new trucking idea, and he especially likes how brave John seems. Malik is pleased. Back at the drop-off, Malik changes the meeting spot at the last minute and wants them to use a pickup instead of the big truck. John slips away briefly to quietly alert Cooper about the change. Daniel gets suspicious, pulls a gun, and demands answers, thinking John might be betraying him. John convinces him he was just calling his wife. They head to the new spot. During the handoff, Malik tests the product by slicing a package open and making John taste it. He pays the commission. The DEA team is ready to move in, but Cooper hears how much trust they've earned and aborts the arrest. He wants to catch an even bigger fish. John is confused when no raid happens. Daniel grows suspicious again, but John talks his way out of it. When John gets home, Annalisa smells trouble and forces him to tell the truth. She's terrified for his life and begs him to think of their daughter and stop. The next morning, John confronts Joanne and Cooper about going after bigger targets instead of honoring the deal for his son. He's furious but eventually calms down. Sylvie then calls. Jason was attacked in prison and needed 36 stitches. John rushes to comfort her at the station. Outside, Daniel confronts him, furious that they're not just dealing with Malik but an entire dangerous cartel. He warns John he's a dead man and walks away. Later, Malik's men show up at John's house. John quickly sends his wife and daughter to safety, then goes with Malik for another deal. At the cartel base, El Topo, a former Mexican paramilitary, tries to recruit John and pressures him about his family. John stays quiet but shaken. Agent Cooper later reveals just how powerful El Topo really is. John still pushes to finish the deal for Malik to free his son, but Joanne wants to use him to take down the whole network. John visits Jason in prison for an emotional talk before the next run. He also stops by Daniel's place to reassure him they won't let either side control their lives anymore. The big day comes. John heads toward the warehouse but ditches the feds and follows his own plan. Inside, money is stacked everywhere, and a cartel guy warns him that every dollar will be on his head if anything goes wrong. Meanwhile, Daniel raids Malik's place, kills him, and grabs El Topo's contact info, sending it urgently to John. Cooper finally reaches John, who refuses to play their game any longer and explains his own strategy. The cartel discovers John is a snitch and comes after him hard. Realizing his son is still in danger, in a wild, intense chase and shootout, Cooper takes down El Topo, giving John the chance to escape the pursuing cartel members. In the end, John watches from the sidelines, battered and on crutches, as Joanne holds her press conference boasting about the big bust. He turns down any reward money and leaves it for Daniel. Jason is finally released from prison. Father and son share a tearful reunion with the whole family. That's how far one desperate father was willing to go to save his son. What a ride, right? Let me know what you think. Have you seen it yet?